that's when I do it, when I see that. Okay, we're going to take just a second to test the sound. Carol, let me know if you can hear me. Is my application window not working? Okay, I'm trying to get my screen to work. Something happened, so give me just a second to figure that out, and then we will start. Okay, there we go. Can you hear me? Please tell me sound is working. Okay. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the Rewordify What webinar. My name is April Dodd, and my moderator and partner is Carol Looney. I teach second grade at Caldwell Elementary. My classroom has 4 student computers, 10 iPads, 13 mini iPads, and a cow that we share among all grade levels. At Caldwell, we attend the computer lab once a week. Carol teaches second grade at Rowlett Elementary. In her classroom, she has 4 student computers and 3 cows at the school that they all share. Her school has computer 3 times a week. So you're probably asking, what is Rewordify? Well, it's a web-based resource that can be found at rewordify.com. The site helps you improve your students' vocabulary and empower them to be more independent learners. You have the option to register as a user or just use it freely as you choose. The site is user-friendly and it gives lots of tutorials and step-by-step instructions. Okay, so this tool that we have as educators aligns with the ISTE standard of differentiation with digital tools, which is digital literacy and computational thinkers. So this helps the students keep track of their progress with vocabulary with the ESL tools that I'm going to show you with the website. Okay, so the basics. You're probably thinking, why is this important to me? So let me explain. Rewordify.com is a web base that acts like an app. And we all love our apps. It works in any browser and on any device, so you can use it on a desktop or an iPad. Rewordify is a great tool for ESL learners, but can be used for all students who need vocabulary improvement. The site suggests that you use it with students sixth grade and up or adults, but as educators, we can modify anything to help our babies. So now you're probably thinking, well, how does this Rewordify work? It simplifies harder English by replacing hard words and phrases with easier ones. It highlights the replaced words, showing the original ones once you hover, tap, or click, depending on what you're using. There is also a second mode too, which highlights and teaches the vocabulary that you can put in yourself. It identifies all the hard words and phrases in a passage, and like I said, it highlights them. Shows easier definitions of the harder ones once you hover and click or tap. So let's talk a little bit more about how it works. It's simplified with lots of content that you can use with your students. Once you log onto the website, the screen will look just like you see on the screen now, where it has just a spot for you to type in things that you would like for your students to learn the different words. You do not have to register, like I said, but registering will help you track and monitor your students because we always need those extra data checkers. Okay, so let's talk about safe registration. After you register as a teacher, it will also ask you if you're 13 years or older, but especially if a student is being registered, you have to register to say that you will use the website correctly and follow all the rules and regulations with that. So after you have registered, you will come to a screen that looks like this. And on this screen, you will see where it has My Learning, My Documents. This is for anyone who is going to log into this website. They will see this screen. But this screen is important to you because this is also where you will find the Educator Center, where you will find to add your students. Okay, so once you've logged in and everything, there's also a spot for you to find the Educator Central overview, which shows you more information. And like I said, this website is very easy to follow. It gives you step-by-step instructions. There's even videos that you can watch to help you familiarize yourself with the site. Okay, there is also, like I said, a step-by-step guide there, and I'm going to show you a little bit of how that works, or at least what it looks like. Okay, so as you can see on this page, it has creating your account, creating student accounts, administrating students, and you can read the rest where it also tells you how to delete student accounts if you need to, if a student leaves. You can also find a demo page where you can click on to find out how to use the site, and then a first time user guide. And I'll just scroll down so you can see a little bit more of how this looks. And once again, it's super easy to follow. Okay, and then it tells you once you've added your student, and then you can also see the reports that you can use, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a second. I clicked too fast and got out of it, so give it a second to pull back up. Okay, there we go. So adding students, once you get to this page, it will show you, it will give you the option to give your class a name, to where you know that it's specific to that classroom. What I did was I just added it, and I put 2017, 2018 for my students. And then once you look below, you can see where it says enter student information. And what I did was I went ahead and used their username and user password that they normally use in the district. That way they don't have to remember any other numbers, because we know how hard it is for them to just remember those numbers. Okay, so once you've done that and you've added your student, you have a shortcut to where you can add assignments. And this is what's going to be very beneficial to you, because you can actually put the assignments that you want your students to work on. And once they log in, they will see those assignments. And since I've already added one to my students, you can see at the bottom where it says assignments, the town mouse and the country mouse is already there. Okay, so once you are adding an assignment, you are looking for the different assignments. If you browse by title, if you have a specific title that you want to look for, you can click on that one. You can also click on browse by author, because like I said, this is geared for older students, so it's difficult to find those things. So what I did was I just looked for the Aesop fables, because we use those a lot in second grade. So I was familiar with those. So that's what I added for my students. Once you click on that, you will see a screen that looks exactly like this, where you will scroll down and there are tons of titles, y'all. It took me a while to find one that was appropriate for a second grader. So once I found it, it appeared here on the screen where it says assignments, and you will have to add it. And to add it, you'll actually have to click on the assignment until, like I said, it tells you the instructions. Everything is written out right here for you. Once you have clicked on it, you'll get a check sign, and by the class that you named it, whatever title you have, and you're ready to go. So here's a picture of one of my students using this tool on the iPad. So they log in with their ID or whatever you give them. It automatically gives you a password, but like I said, that was going to be too difficult for my students to remember. So I just changed it to their district username and password. Okay, and so here she is looking at the tool. And I will show you a very super short video on how it works. Helps if I turn the volume on. Let's try that again. You can see here, it highlights the words. And then for this one, you can't see it because it's on top of it. The word is acquaintances. And then once you click on it, word. so they are able to hear the word as well. She really enjoyed using this tool. I had to keep reminding her that the object is not just to click on every yellow highlighted word that you see. So that might be something that you might want to address with your students before you give it to them to use. Okay, so once they've used it, like I said, we are all about tracking the data. So if you look here, you will see a screen that says Educator Central, and this is where you will find the spot for you to do charts and reports of your students. And you click at the very top, and you will see where it says Educator Central. That's where you'll click once you get into your login screen, and then you can see the charts and reports, student accounts, and this is also the same where you'll add the students and add assignments, and then there's a more option. So there's lots of different charts and reports that you could pull up. Like I said, super easy to use. There's an overview, step-by-step walkthrough, and then there's also information on how to read those charts and reports. Okay, when I was saying there's charts and reports, there's different ones. You have how much they're reading, their reading time per day, their words learning per day, their learning errors by type, and then it also has several of other different areas that you can look. So you can specifically look for things where you want to show students, especially if those are students you're thinking about maybe having an SST on or someone that you need to have more data on for any reason. You can use these also, and you're able to print these out. A little bit more. There's more learning sessions where you can see what learning sessions they're using. You can see detailed information. And then here's chart graphs and things that you can see where you can get more information and more data on your student. Okay, what if you need more help? Well, there's a help center for that. And the Rewordify Help Center has lots of different frequently asked questions. It has a first time user guide. It has how to use the site. Of course, it has the user central. And if you look at the very bottom in the left corner, that is where you will find the video tutorials. Then beside that is user accounts, ways privacy and legal information that you need to know for any site that you're working on. Are there any questions? And I'll pause here for a few seconds for you to type in any questions that you may have. Or not, if my screen doesn't come back up. Okay, since there are no questions, Ms. Carol will go ahead and post the link for the CPE credit in the chat window. If you have any other questions, you can feel free to send us a message on Twitter because our Twitter information will also be posted. Feel free to ask us questions or follow us on Twitter and follow the link that Ms. Carol just posted so that you can earn your credit for the 30-minute time that you have spent with us. And I thank you so much for joining us on Rewordify What?